what advice would you give someone that's going through depression, dealing with being a mom? Okay, whether she's married or single, because that happens a lot. Like people don't want it to verbally. Nobody wants to talk about it or tell anybody about it. So, what advice would you give a mom that's like suffering from that right now? Because postpartum depression is real.
It's real.
Some people say that it's not, and it really is. You know, that goes to the whole point of the transitioning process to me. So what would you say?
Well, first off, I would suggest getting some help medically, because that's, your hormones are all out of whack, and they're trying to find their place back into, they're trying to go back to the original place. So you're just not balanced, chemically, and so and mentally. So I would say that's the first step. And then you have to have a good support system.
Oh yeah.
I'm a firm believer that it takes a village to raise a child, so you need some help. You may need some aunts and moms and some uncles and brothers and sisters to help you out with taking the kids off your hands for a little bit, so that you can have some time to, reflect, and even, like what we were saying, work out. Working out is really good for depression. It really is, yeah. So.
It's hard because for me, I talked to Eileen about this before. It's like you have your family, and you know, your mom and your sisters and things like that or whatever. And not just for a single mother, we were talking about how it's hard to talk to them about certain situations because they've never been through it, They can relate to me being a mother, but they can never relate to me being a single mother and doing it on my own. So it's hard to talk to them and tell them about things that's going on in my life, and then have their advice on the situation which they've never been through. And so even if I was married, sometimes whenever you have family members, you don't want to tell them what's actually going on in your life, because the true part of it is because to a certain, exactly. But that's not healthy, because you have to be able to talk to somebody and tell somebody what's going on in your life. So if you can't talk to your family members and you don't want to be judged about the things that you're going through, you have to seek counsel from other people.
I would say there's a delicate balance, because obviously there are things that warrant you to talk to people if it's bad, and I mean bad, abusive, physically, emotionally, psychologically, whatever it is, then absolutely talk and seek help. But I think you should probably use caution, because you obviously love this person, so relationships change in that you might be feeling a certain way for a certain amount of time, and then things get better. Well, whoever you brought into that will continue to feel the way that their perception has changed of this person, this man, because now they see him as the way that you've described to them.
Right.
And that is a very, very, very hard image to change. So then the male figure or whoever it is will have some type of will potentially be clashed, or there'll be some type of angst whenever they're around. So then now the whole dynamic has changed between your significant other and your family and friends.
Yeah.
So then there's another divide that kind of builds up.
Well, that's true too, and that's the whole purpose of trying to build this website, so women can talk to other women about what's going on in their life, and they're not really in their social circle where they're at. But you have to talk to somebody. You have to be able to talk to somebody and have somebody else that understands where you're going through, because the thing that's scary is when you keep that stuff inside, you start to act crazy around other people or have dark thoughts, and that's not good. That's not good for you, and it's not good for your children. So that's pretty good, you guys. I really liked what you said, dealing with watch who you talk to about, and that's another thing. whenever you do find your counsel or your support system or whatever, you have to be able to really trust them with that information that you're giving them, and know that they're not judging you. You know, you have to feel comfortable around them or whatever, and know that when they're talking to you, they're not trying to hurt you. They're trying to help you.
Right. I mean, we all need, honesty at times, and then also it's good to talk to members of the opposite gender. You just want to be careful because you're probably vulnerable.
Ooh,
So-
that opens the door for
That
infidelity
open, yes, yeah. So I mean, I think I'm a firm believer into not only talking to other women, but talk to men, because they can give you a perspective.
Yeah,
I agree
from
with
the
that.
other
But what
side.
he's thinking, yeah, you have to touch. Another thing, intimacy is not actually sexually. We all know that. You could be intimate with somebody by just telling them your secrets and things like that or whatever. And it's true, you do have to watch what you say, because you may not be intending to do anything, but then the other person's like, oh, she's trusting me. Your wife told me
Take
this.
advantage of
And you don't. And yeah, especially while you're depressed and hurting and all those
Right.
kind of things.
Right.
Oh man, that's true. Take me to school today.